welcome to lesson number 2. Last time we created interlinking pages. This time we're going to make some rollover images and we're going to change some page properties, make some background colors and such. So to begin with, we need an image editing program, and Paint is on pretty much every computer, so we're going to go with Paint. Hopefully you've done the Paint tutorials already so you know how to use this program, but it's pretty simple. So click on Resize. This is where we specify how big we want our buttons to be. So change the resize settings to pixels, uncheck the maintain aspect ratio. And we're going to make our buttons 200 pixels wide by 50 pixels high. And that'll make a pretty normal button size for us there. Just zoom in a little bit, bottom right hand corner for that. So we get a little bit more room to work with. And we're going to create a button. So using the Paint Fill tool, I'm just going to make this button our background color, which is going to be black for me. So I'm just going to go with black. I'm going to make my font white. So click on white as the foreground color and then click on color 2, black as the background color. I'm going to write here home. And we're just going to make that fit. We can use whatever font we like because this is going to be an image, so we're not going to have to worry about fonts needing to be embedded in the program. So I'm just going to pick something fancy. You can pick whatever you like. This is my home button. And I'm going to put that in the middle. Be very careful how you click on this box. If you miss, you'll place the object before you want it to be placed. Like that. Home. Done. We might add a little picture here. I'm going to draw a little house as a joke. Home. Just going to fill that in. Alright, there's our home page button. Zoom out, that's what it'll look like. It's not amazing, but you know, you get the idea. File, save as PNG picture. Okay, this is a higher quality image than JPEG, and because it's such a small photo, it won't matter. So JPEG, click on Desktop, Website 1, the folder you made previously. We're going to make a new folder here called Buttons. Alright, and once you've got that, we're going to name this Home BTN. Home Button. No spaces. There is a capital in here to show where the new word begins. Home BTN. Save. And we have our home button. Now, this is the button that you'll see when you look at the page, but if you move your mouse over it, we want it to change into something else. So, zoom back in, and we're going to make a little bit of a change. So I'm going to change the color of this house to red. Except I meant to right click. There we go. And I'm going to put a little underline using the line tool. There you go. Zoom back out. We have a slightly different image. File, save as, PNG. Alright, and Home BTN is the first one. We're going to write Home BTN 2. Save. Now we've got two identical buttons in terms of size, but slightly different in the picture. You can close Paint now. Go back to our home page that we made previously. Click on the home text. Delete it. Don't need it anymore. Click into our file viewer here. Refresh. Go to Buttons. Click back here and say Insert, Image Objects, Rollover Image. Alright, and we're going to call it Home BTN. And original image is the image that we want to see before we click. And buttons, home, okay. And browse, get the other one. Okay, rollover image obviously is the image that will come up when your mouse moves over it. Alternate text, home, button. And when clicked, go to URL. This is the link, which was down here before. You can type it manually, or you can say browse and choose it from our pages, and we know that that's our home page. Alright, press OK, and we have a home button ready to go. Let's just drag this across here so that it spaces it a bit better. And if you press F12 now, after saving it, of course, Control S, F12, you should have a working rollover image. Okay. If it doesn't work for you, there could be a few reasons. One of them, you might have to enable the content, which is generally down the bottom of the page, or you may have done the steps incorrectly. Okay, but that's what should happen. Now, what I want you to do is create 2 more rollover images for both of these. Once you've created your other rollover images, time to put them in. So delete about, insert image object, rollover image. We're going to call it about button, browse, find the about number 1, browse, find about number 2, and alternate text about button. And when clicked, go to about.html. You can write it or find it under here. Okay, and we're going to change this one here, images to insert image objects rollover, browse, where are we? Images, and my second images button. I'm going to call this page images button. Sorry, we're going to call this button images button. Alternate text images button. And images page is our link. Press OK. Alright, we're probably going to need to change some text settings now because this blue isn't going to come up so well. So if we go down to page properties, go to headings, we can change our text to this white color, or maybe a light, anything light really, so I'm just going to go a light blue instead. Alright, and of course, probably should change our text as well, so let's just change our text to white in case we want to type some text later. Press OK. And now if we press F12, after saving of course, this is what we have. We have our home page, it's black on our table, and if we were to minimize it and drag, you'll notice it stays in the middle. Okay, but when we click, unfortunately our buttons are only good on our home page. Okay, so we need to quickly copy and paste these onto our other pages. So we could manually copy and paste them all, but what I'm going to do is just close these and recopy our page settings from before. So kind of like what we did before, go to the pages folder that we had before. We're going to just delete images and about. I'm going to copy and paste home again because we've got better buttons and much better font settings. About, and we're going to change this one to images. Alright, like we did before, about and images, drag them into Dreamweaver again, and you'll notice that our settings are back. We just have to change this again. So you'll notice it's best to do all these changes at the beginning so you don't have to keep re-changing everything. Just going to change this picture again. And the images one. And there we go. Okay, so file save all. And now we've got 3 pages. Press F12. And every page has these fancy buttons on it. Okay, and you'll notice they change when your mouse goes over them. If you want to play around with more settings, like maybe putting some black space under this if you press enter, you'll notice that in the code view it's created this P, close bracket P. That is a HTML code for the spacing of enter. So if I put 2 of those on each page, now our stuff looks a little bit more centered. File save all. I'm going to preview that. Our web page looks more like a web page. Save your work now that you've created this.